discuss regional and global issues. I briefed him about the growing tension in India-Pakistan relations and continuing violation by the Indian forces across the line of control. Foreign Secretary Johnson shared these concerns and expressed the hope that both sides should resume talks in order to reduce tension and resolve outstanding issues. We had substantive discussion today on the progress of bilateral economic, defense and security cooperation in the areas of common interest. It is encouraging to note that both sides are committed to further strengthen this relationship by increasing trade, promoting investment, and creating greater opportunities for cultural cooperation. Pakistan and the UK have been cooperating under the framework of enhanced strategic dialogue since 2011. We had a ministerial review in London in April this year and agreed on 3 new roadmaps, i.e. trade and investment, culture and education, and security. Discussions are also in progress on a multi-year development cooperation framework. Today, we have agreed to intensify our efforts to achieve meaningful and mutually beneficial progress, especially focusing on trade and investment under this framework. We are appreciative of Britain's assistance and support to Pakistan in key areas, specifically in education and health sectors. We are confident that under Prime Minister Theresa May's leadership and the stewardship of Boris Johnson, our bilateral relations would be further enhanced for the benefit of the people of the two countries. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has extended an invitation to Prime Minister Theresa May to visit Pakistan in 2017, and we eagerly look forward to this visit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Sartaj, if I can call you Sartaj, we've had a wonderful meeting, a long meeting in which we discussed all kinds of things. But first, may I say what a privilege and a joy it is for me to be here for the first time in Pakistan, a country that, as you say, rightly has such close, deep, and indivisible links with my own country, not least because 2% of the population, 2% of the population of the United Kingdom can trace their origins to this country. And indeed, some members of my immediate family can do so. And that means our relationship is of vital historic importance, but also great importance for the future. And I'm so pleased that we've been able today to take forward our enhanced strategic dialogue on the 3 areas that you mentioned, on security, on trade, and on cultural and intellectual cooperation. And all 3 areas are immensely fertile. I think it's vital that we work together to promote the security of the entire region, not least because of the huge commercial, the huge economic benefits that can flow from that success. And I think it's vital, of course, that we encourage further trade and commercial economic interpenetration. And I do think that there's a big opportunity here. Consider the size of the Pakistan economy, how fast it's growing. Look at the size of the UK economy. We could do so much better than £2.5 billion a year of bilateral trade. I'm sure you will agree. And we will do better. And together to achieve that, and I know that we will be making the maximum use of the chances, the opportunities in the months and years ahead, and we have agreed to launch a program of business engagement focusing not just on the enhanced strategic dialogue, but also, of course, on the opportunity that is presented by the celebrations of Pakistan's 70th anniversary next year, which I hope will be one of the ways in which we will be able to take our relationship forward to a new level. Thank you very much. Yes, gentleman in the front row.
Hello, sir. I'm Sarah from Agence France Presse. Foreign Secretary Donald Trump has threatened to reconsider defending NATO allies unless they up their defense spending, while EU ministers have approved a common defense plan despite objections from Britain. Do you see a chance that NATO is being undermined in the current climate? And if so, what steps can Britain take to help prevent that from having a negative impact on security, mainly in Afghanistan, but also by extension here in Pakistan?
Well, what the President-elect has said is that other NATO countries should be paying the right rate for support of the military alliance. And I have to say, I think in that respect he is quite right. And it's a point that the UK government also makes. We are the country that spends the second most. We spend the second most per capita as well, 2% of our GDP, and I think that's the right thing to do. So we need a strong NATO alliance, and I think that the President-elect is quite right to draw attention to the need to finance that alliance properly.
Mr. Secretary, this is Saleh Zafar. Sorry. Well, I'll give you the chance. Please keep sitting. Please. I have started question. No, I have not invited you. Please. It's not a question of invitation. It's not a quota. Let me ask you. Please maintain discipline.
Is it working? Yeah. So this is Isa Nagri from Dunia TV. My question is from the visiting dignitary. Excellency, what we have seen that the UK, United Kingdom, European countries and the US, the West itself, usually takes a very strong position when it comes to the human rights violation. But what we have seen what's happening in Kashmir from last 3 months, hundreds of people have been killed, scores of them have been blinded for the rest of their lives. The human rights violations, including not letting the Muslims offer Friday prayers from last 3 months. But we have not seen an open and clear condemnation from these countries. I need your comments on that.
Well, I thank you very much for that. As you know, the long-standing position of the UK is that it is for India and for Pakistan to find a lasting solution to the situation in Kashmir, taking into account the wishes of the Kashmiri people. And I don't think it is for the UK to prescribe a solution or to act as a mediator, no matter how much you might want me to today. I think what we want to do is encourage both sides to maintain a positive dialogue. And of course, we are concerned about recent incidents on both sides of the line of control in Kashmir, and we call for an end to the violence and for both sides to exercise restraint.
Thank you very much, Excellency.
Last question, because the Excellency has to proceed for next.
Excellency, I am Syed Mohsin Reza, representing Asas Group of Publications. My question is, would you like to condemn the brutalities in IOK? Because the process of peace, which we all here under this roof want to progress, is impossible without that stoppage of human tragedy which is taking place in Indian-held Kashmir.
If I may respectfully say to you, sir, as they say in the House of Commons in our country, I refer you to the answer I gave a moment or two ago, which was, I think, really covered your question. I gave as full an answer as I could.
One last question you can ask. One more question you can ask.
Of the newspaper. Mr. Secretary, don't you think that it is a historic responsibility of your great country to play a role for the resolution of Kashmir issue? And Mr. Advisor, how do you see your conversation with the visiting secretary? Are you satisfied about the assurances he has given on account of Kashmir issue? Thank you, sir.
Well, I think as he said, he shared our concern about the increasing tensions along the line of control, and he stressed what we have been stressing, that when two countries have a problem, they need dialogue and negotiations, which should take place. Otherwise, these issues become even more serious. So I think in that sense, as I said in my statement.
And I just want to go back to what I was saying earlier on, which I mean very sincerely. Look at this area. Look at the incredible human potential of Pakistan and its neighbors. And its neighbors. And then imagine what the future could be like if this was sorted out. And on both sides, there was a greater economic, commercial security, interpenetration of goods, services, and capital. What an incredible boom zone this would be. That's the objective. And at the moment, that is being held back, in my view, by the sequestration, the mutual sequestration of these economies. And that is why it's so important that, as Sartaj, as the foreign minister rightly says, that there is increased dialogue and both sides work to sort out their problems.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.